Hello, welcome to the A to Z YouTube channel. My name is Toby Allen. If you're an artist working with our studio, it's me handling your recording and your producing and engineering and all that fun stuff. Today we're looking at the new plugin from Otto Audio called Blown Out Wall. It's a fuzz pedal distortion sim thingy that you like to put in front of an amp sim or real amp to add some real dirtiness and fuzz. This is not a sponsored video because I actually bought this myself and Otto Audio haven't asked me to make this video or anything. I just thought this looked really cool, so I thought I'd grab it and show it to you guys. So all thoughts and opinions are obviously my own. So have a quick listen to it in a song context. So the setup we've got here, we've got blown out wall going into Oracle from ML Sound Lab, and the cab is just standard ML orange cab going on in there. We've got the amp set to 666, which is kind of standard sort of setup I go for with a rock reverb sound. It sounds like this on its own. Relatively clean, just a tiny little sprinkling of dirt on there, but with the blown out wall engaged, got some absolute filth happening there. So let's have a look at the layout of the plugin here. We've got quite a few knobs. We've also got some external controls here. So we've got a mix and blend option here, so you can actually choose how much of the untouched audio is still coming through. You've got the main distortion dial here. There's also a valve drive, which just adds a lot of sort of sprinkling of, it's almost like the kind of sound that you get from running through a valve power amp that kind of adds that extra bit of saturation to it. And then you can use this mix dial here to blend in that valve drive onto there. You've got an input, so you can adjust the input going into the pedal. You've got an output here as well, so you can go absolute nuts driving the front of an amp sim. You've got a high pass filter, a low pass filter, and then on the actual pedal itself you've got a tone volume here and a tone frequency choice. You've then also got the tone Q, so it's kind of almost like a parametric EQ in the mid area of the sound. Then you've got a low volume and a low Q, so you can't change the low frequency, but you can choose the size of the Q and the boost of the low. You've also got a post as well, which is essentially your high. So you've got a post gain, post frequency, and a post Q. Oh yeah, also you've got this button here. I don't know what it does. It does something. I think it might change between post and pre on the VU, possibly. I'm not 100% sure. I couldn't find a manual for this, so I'm just kind of guessing with some of this stuff. Then you've also got here, which I think is like a gain change channel. A channel change. So the red is extra filthy and the orange is very filthy. That's kind of what I'm guessing they do. Again, there's no manual, so I don't know what that actually does, but you can hear it makes big changes to the sound. So let's just kind of dial, I'm going to do a little bit of chugs, change some of these dials on here, and we'll see how it affects the tone. max that out, that goes into proper HM2 territory with the classic 2.5k boost. That sounds ridiculous on that setting. Almost like a wah pedal. That's ridiculous. So I think actually this isn't I misunderstood this part over here. It's not a high, it's EQ after the distortion, whereas this one's an EQ before the distortion. So you can basically go HM2 madness on 2.5k before the distortion, and then again after the distortion. So that's kind of crazy. Alright, let's just change back to the default setting. We're just taking it back to the default setting. And what we're going to do is going to mess with these over here. So let's bring the distortion down. And then bring this valve drive up. You can add here, adding more, and then we're going to leave it on this setting here and change over to this. Hear the output because it's driving into the front of the amp sim. When you get to certain levels like this, it's just ridiculous. You drive the front of the pedal. Yeah, that gets absolutely insane. So last thing we're going to try is we're just going to put this back to the default setting again, and let's try a different amp sim. Instead of the Oracle, let's just try what else is good for drive for a fuzz going in. I tend to like fuzz pedals going into British-ish amps, so like Marshalls or Orange amps. So we're going to try on the ML800, which is JCM 800 from ML Sound Lab. And let's put that on this setting. And we'll put the fuzz on. So the big difference you get between those two amps for my ears is that, like, with this, it's kind of more that Swedish chainsaw entombed HM2 kind of thing happening when going into a Marshall, whereas when it goes into orange, it's kind of more doom, sludge, filth. So it's amazing what a difference it makes going into different amps. And obviously the cabs on here will be different as well. The cab on this one is it's a mode 4 cab and a 4x12 Marshall with greenbacks. So yeah, a combination I really love anyway. So yeah, that's the blown out wall amp. I hope you found my little description of that and my little demo of that interesting. And yeah, I think it's really cool. I don't think this is the sort of thing I would necessarily use for like an album tone or like the whole tone in an entire song, but I think it would potentially be something I'd use for like breakdowns or just like a real sort of filthy part and like an extra layer. Maybe like a 5150 blended with this going into ML800 or into orange, you know, get that extra filth, just extra filth layers rather than being the main layer, if that makes sense, which is how I tend to use fuzz pedals in real life anyway. So I hope you found that very interesting. If you want to find out more, there's a link below that takes you to Otto Audio. As I said, I'm not affiliated at all in any way with Otto Audio. This is just something I thought was really cool, and I thought maybe you guys would like me to check it out. If there's any other amp sims or pedal sims or anything like that that's on the market that I haven't dealt with on the channel, drop down in the comments below, and we'll see if I can have a play with it and we can talk about it here on the channel. Make sure to hit and like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thank you very much. Bye.